Welcome back, everyone. So we are in conversation with Neelasha, whose high school was at NCSSM, and she's detailed out and given her all the guidance and how you land to that school. She has given her journey on volunteering, which is very pivotal on her college application. She's a UNC Chapel Hill freshman, so how many hours she did, where she did, all those information and her thoughts, of course, on volunteering, that you have to be on road, you have to kind of be on prem doing the volunteering, rather than not choose to stay inside your room and do the volunteering. So we have a touch point on her graduation of high school from a rigorous program. We have touched on volunteering. So now let's deep dive onto her college application preparation, how she did, what was her thought process. So going on to our, the next very important and a question that everybody has, that how should be your GPA? So what is your take on, aspect of GPA? So through your high school, and of course when you were kind of started preparing for the college essays and applications. So let us know, what was your thoughts?
Yeah, so I do think GPA is like a very important factor when it comes to the college application. However, nowadays, college apps have gotten so competitive, especially if you're applying to one of the elite schools like T20, T30 schools. So now college application, professionals, they see a high GPA as like the bare minimum now. So obviously it is important for you to have a high GPA, but it's not the only thing that you should focus on when it comes to the college application. I do think one of the biggest things is definitely extracurriculars, because it'll make you stand apart from everyone else that's applying to that college. Especially if you show an interest in something other than STEM, if you are very proficient in sports or in fine arts, or drama, theater, dance, music, whatever. So I do think that is a very important component. And also essays do play a really big part, because I honestly feel like colleges would rather accept someone with not as par GPA, but with an amazing essay, rather than someone who has a really good GPA but a very not good essay. So essays and extracurriculars play a very important part, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good guidance. So it's not just one aspect of that edges you out. It's both, not even both, I would say a lot many things that edges you out and gets your acceptance. So thank you so much for that, Neelasha. So we did touch on the GPA, and there I think with our uploading a lot of insight and our conversation on our channel on the college application and journey, there are few who have reached out to know from the perspective on ACT and SAT. So let us know on that. What was your thought process going around that when you're in your junior year and your senior year? What was like, were you getting nervous, stressed out that I have to have this much mark, or you were like, no, that would be not the criteria? So yeah, let us know on that.
Yeah, so I do think now in like the past few years that testing isn't as important as it used to be for college admission officers. Again, I would say how it was with GPA, having a good test score is like the bare minimum now, and it won't make you, obviously you should aim to have a good score, but it's not the end all be all if you don't have an amazing score, especially now so many colleges are test optional because of COVID. If you do get a bad score, again, it's not the end of the world. I personally, I got a 35 on the ACT, so I think that did help me when it came to my college app. But again, I don't think, it's not that big of a deal if you don't have as much of a good test score, because as I said,
Mhm.
most colleges nowadays are test optional. So
Yeah, and we've passed across the our life from COVID, so a lot of framework, lot of mindset, lot of things have changed. So I agree with you that only having a good score will not edge you out, or will not help you stand out. There are a lot many things that you have to put across, just not on the different scores that you have from ACT and SAT. But yeah, you have to have that, as Neelasha said, that you cannot put that on a back stove and be very reluctant on it. You have to work hard to get a good mark, but then that's just not be the the guiding star to make you a winner. So thank you so much for that, Neelasha. Now let's have more concentrated and more focused a conversation on everything around college, right? So your journey is pretty different from the conversations that I had previously. You are from NCSSM, so did you have the route of brag sheet? uh, did you have to kind of put everything on a and kind of prepare yourself, because the tell me about yourself, the supplement prompts, they're all coming up. So did you had a brag sheet that you had to kind of frame up, or it was a different thing for you?
so for me, when it came to college apps, honestly, something that really, really like gave me a sense of peace when it came to college apps is the fact that I had guaranteed admission to UNC and state. So I wasn't as I only applied to 11 colleges, which I honestly think is kind of a lower number compared to a lot of my friends from who didn't go to SSM who applied to like 17 or 20, because they don't have the mindset that they have like a safety school and stuff. So I do think that definitely helped me when it came to not being too overwhelmed when it came to college apps. But still going to SSM, like everything's very competitive there. So I did still feel pressured to do like the absolute best on my essays, have like the best extracurriculars that I could. I think like the opportunities that I experienced at SSM did help me stand out a bit, because I just had a lot more opportunities there that I didn't have in my old school, when it came to like extracurriculars and clubs and organizations and all that stuff. So I do think that helped me. And they have like a lot of college guidance there. They have counselors dedicated just to help you with preparing for like college apps and stuff like that. So I ask them very frequently for help, and even if you don't go to SSM, I would like advise you to ask your counselors for help when it comes to essays or deciding what extracurriculars you want to put on your Common App and stuff like that. So yeah.
Wow. So I guess, hearing you out, you might not have taken any external help on your review of college essays, right? You had your counselor. So how did you do that? How was your essays reviewed? Was it you, your family, your friends? Of course, you mentioned that you had so much of help from the school. But yeah, let us know on that. How did your essays got reviewed?
Yeah, so actually, my parents did hire someone to review my essays for me, because my counselors, like, they were great, but they just didn't have that much time to go over my essay as in depth as I wanted them to, because my counselor was like the counselor for like 300 people. So I wanted someone who would be able to focus on me and my essay specifically, and like I'd be able to tell them my entire journey and like brainstorm with them and give them ideas, which honestly you don't have to do, especially if you have a lot of resources at your school. But I just thought personally that it would be a good idea for me to get someone to review my college essays. So that definitely helped a lot. But I would say try to get as many opinions as you can. Like go to your counselors, go to your family, go to your friends, go to people who know you, go to people who don't know you. Yeah, I also asked my English teacher for help because, obviously, it's one thing the content of the essay, but also you have to sound smart and have good grammar and all of that. So
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was smart. That was really smart, Nilasha. Like, it's just not that the end road is not, getting accepted in a good college. You also have to kind of, make sure that you are presenting yourself in a smarter way. And that was a good insight. So you just mentioned that you did do uh, exchange hands with your essays. So how about the research? How did you go through a lot of essays? And you said that I did not overwhelm myself in applying too many colleges because I didn't want to do that. Your journey was very specific to a few colleges that you wanted to apply. So even for few colleges, was your research very extensive, or you already had your mindset? So yeah, let us know on that.
Yeah, so when it came to like the college specific supplementals, I did do quite a bit of research and I tried to see, you know, what kind of traits that college would look for in a student specifically, whether they would look for like leadership or more STEM oriented, activities, or whether they look for, being overall like well rounded with like fine arts or whatever. Because one of the pretty much every college, they have at least one essay where they ask you, why are you applying to this college, why are you doing whatever major you want to do. So I did do a lot of research when it came to that, just so I'd be able to say, this is why I am a good fit for your college, this is why your college is a good fit for me. So when it came to that, that's why I didn't apply to that many colleges, because I only really wanted to apply to colleges that were good for my major, biomedical engineering. So I applied to a lot of like STEM oriented colleges that had pretty good engineering programs. So
Wow. So now you know that, Nilasha has been doing ballet for a quite long time. So she is a very focused person, and she knows, she has her direction right on spot. So I got a clue for my next question, Nilasha. You said that, you kind of did the research, and you wanted to project yourself to the college that this is the kind of person I am. I'm a very good fit for your college. So on that note, what was in your thoughts when you were writing "Tell Me About Yourself"? In fact, uh, let us know that how did you present on that prompt, like tell me about yourself, because that's so important, because that is opening up the Pandora box to the college reviewer, because that's a prompt they are knowing about you. And of course they're going to the prompts hands on, but that is very important. So what did you present yourself on Tell Me About Yourself?
Yeah, so the biggest essay that you want to focus on when it comes to college apps is definitely your personal statement on your Common App. So for that, again, as I said before, my biggest extracurricular, my biggest hobby outside of school is dance. So I focused on dance in that essay. Specifically, I talked about ballet, and I talked about what it was like being a person of color in ballet, which is like obviously a very white oriented form of dance. So I talked about my experience there, and honestly, I would just say, like, I know it's easier said than done finding something unique about yourself, but I would just say, think of yourself as like a holistic person. Don't just like focus on one or two things about yourself. Like, I would just say, again, like what I went through was pretty unique when it came to being an Indian woman in ballet, and like how I went through my journey with that, doing almost like 13 years of ballet, being pretty much the only person of color in that studio. So if you can find just something similar where you're like experiencing something pretty unique, or an opportunity like that, I would say you should hark on that pretty much when it comes to your college essays. So
Wow. So I know there's so many interesting facts that Nilasha is throwing us, and I'm sure you will benefit so much out of it. So present yourself, look for some unique aspect in your personality, and then that will take you ahead in the game. So that was unique, and that was excellent guidance that Nilasha has given us. So we have a lot more. We just just the surface. We have touched the surface. We have to go deep on the college application, and many more questions. We'll get all the guidance from Nilasha. So go for a quick break and come back and see you soon.